After watching this video, you will know how to instantly know which key to use. Hello, this is David. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping you develop your musical personality on the guitar so that you can tell a better musical story. There's nothing worse than having to tell your story, having to improvise a solo on the fly, especially when people are watching on an open jam night or maybe you're part of the worship band in a church or something like that, and you gotta take your solo and oh my gosh, what do? You didn't prepare the song. You've got the chords in front of you. That's all you need. I'm gonna show you how. We're gonna take a simple chord progression here. We're gonna take an F major, followed by C minor, and then B flat major, and then back to that F. But that's just an example. We can use pretty much anything as long as we're in that kind of style, kind of mellow, melodic, songwriter, worship music, rock, pop, that kind of thing, right? Nothing too crazy. It's going to work. So you've got to improvise over this. Well, here's a backing track made of these chords. By the way, you can download this track and the assets for the lesson for free. The link is below. Check it out after this video. Let me show you how we're going to do this. So I've got a solo here and I didn't get a chance to, analyze these chords. I've got the chords in front of me. I know what's going on. The first thing that comes to mind here is not a scale, but the actual chords. That's what I have. So that's what we're gonna look at. So I'm gonna pause this backing track and give you a glimpse into my brain as I'm listening to this. It all starts with the chords. When I see F major, the first chord that comes to mind, the first position, the first shape is this one right here. If that's not the first position that comes to your mind, that's fine. Maybe it's this one, maybe this one, maybe this one. There's a lot of ways of playing that F major, but I'm gonna go with the one that comes to my mind, the basic one, the bar chord version, and that's frets 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. Okay, I'm visualizing this on my music sheet. I've got that F major, followed by a C minor. Again, a lot of different positions for C minor, but I'm gonna go with this one. That's the first one that comes to mind. Again, it's a bar chord, and I'm not playing the 6th string here, but I'm starting on the 5th string, frets 3, 5, 5, 4, 3. I'm visualizing this mentally or by looking at my fretboard. And then the next chord is B flat major. I'm gonna play this one right here, and I'm gonna do this bar version, starting on the 5th string. I have frets 1, 3, 3, 3, and then I could play 1 here, but that's kind of, I don't like that position. I'm just gonna avoid the first string. Those 3 chords are part of the same song, but there's a little more to it. These 3 chords are also part of the coherence of the song. What makes this chord progression coherent? What makes it melodic, no surprise, stable, we're at home? Well, it's really because it's all in the same key. And you can hear that typically, and that's why I said this will really work with ballads, soft rock, worship music, nothing too crazy. It's all in the same key and you can really hear it. There's no surprises there. Because they're in the same key, these chords are extracted from, well, the same key. Everything is related to each other, which means that if you want to do a good job with your solo, you need to respect that key. What is the key? Again, that's the topic of this video. Well, because those chords are extracted from the key, let's look at the chords. But instead of trying to analyze these chords as in, all right, this chord is the 1st degree, this one is the 6th, this one is the... None of that here. We're going to go the visual route and we're going to superimpose each of these chords, in this case 3, on top of each other. And we'll start with that F right here. On top of this F chord position, I'm going to superimpose the C minor. Now some notes are the same, right? For instance, this note right here, which is the 5th string, 3rd fret, is found in F major, but also in C minor. Of course, and that makes sense because these 2 chords are part of the same key. So yes, we're going to have some common notes because really a scale is made of 7 notes, right? And 7 notes, they are bound to be repeated in some chords. Let's move on. So now we have these 2 chords superimposed on top of each other. Kind of a weird shape, right? It's not really a chord, it's kind of a scale type of thing. Hint, hint. And then we're gonna superimpose on this the B flat major. Now what do we have? Well, we have an interesting shape made of these 3 different chords, and that shape, even though it's kind of maybe a difficult position to play. It's not really what you're used to. Well, that shape has all the information you need to know which key you're going to play in. As a matter of fact, if you were to just use this shape as, a scale diagram, regardless of the name, over this backing track, it would work. It works, but it's not very musical and it's not very melodic. And that's because we did everything at once. We approached this in the same way that we would approach a writing exercise or a backing track that we have to play over. This is different. We are considering that we have to play this on the fly. People are watching. People need to feel engaged with the music. You don't have time to do this. You've got to do it step by step as the chords are unveiled to you. Let's do that. The first step is to listen to what the band is playing or the backing track and place your fingers where there should be for the chords that you're kind of following on the sheet of paper in front of you, if you're playing with a sheet of paper. And then play a few notes from these chords as the chords change, right? Starting to sound melodic, right? And then you're going to mentally do a picture of these notes that you just played and try to bring them to the same area of the fretboard. Maybe this one right here, between frets 3 and 8, or this one where the F was based. It doesn't matter where, but you're trying to have a narrow area of the fretboard by layering on top of each other these chords, and then it'll start to draw a scale that you're more used to. Right? And as you do this, your fingers are going to get more comfortable and you're going to start recognizing some things. Does that make sense? It all starts with the chords. Superimposing these chords is really going to help you. If you encounter a weird chord in there that seems to clash with the rest, it just means that you're dealing with a song, a chord progression that modulates, that changes keys. And when that's the case, the safest thing to do is just to follow the chords that are presented in front of you. Just follow those chords, play a few notes from these chords, and you will be safe. As a matter of fact, I would recommend that you do that the very first time you have to play something. Just follow those chords. That'll give you an indication as to what is coming, and it also gives you a feel for the things to look out for. If a chord is weird, modulation, change of key. It's the safest and most melodic way to do that. And if you're more of a melodic type of player, if you like to create things that the listener can hear once and remember forever, that's the key, following those chords. It works with everything. Check this out, for example. See if this rings a bell. I'm gonna stop here. This was the blues. I was playing the blues without having to play those chords. I was following the chord mentally, right? And that's the secret. It doesn't just work for, ballads and things like that. Just follow those chords. Eventually, you can layer these chords on top of each other. That'll be the scale, and then it gets into more automatic playing. But that type of thing that I was playing there on that blues sounds different than this, right? You can still use that. It'll sound fine, the minor pentatonic scale, but blend that with that following the chords approach. It sounds a lot better. I'm gonna leave a link under this video for you to download the backing tracks. I say tracks because there are a couple for you. There's the one we used here, that F, C minor, and B flat, but there's another one, a surprise one that you can take and explore. It's kind of a ballad, same genre, really fun to play over. See if you can figure out the key. It's free. Check it out below. Thanks for watching this. And if you want to stick around for another video, I recommend you watch this one. Check it out. I'll meet you right there. It's a good one. I selected just for you that video. I'll meet you there. See you there. Practice well. That is weird.